What's going on, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm Justin, here with Meelz, and we are still working with the WWE. We're still here.
Yeah, no, don't say that we're working with the WWE. Lord knows that's what they think we wanted.
Yeah, I was trying to make a joke, didn't work.
Yeah, listen, shills, the shill show. You know what I'm saying? We're back. Lots of things going on. Let's see. Is anything new going on with me? Let's see if anything's cracking with me. Not really.
I saw Michael last weekend.
Oh, how was that?
It was okay. I think that my opinion on it gets lesser and lesser because you know what it made me do? It made me go on a rabbit hole of like just his career, what he's done. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff. Like it put me down a rabbit hole of just like all of the stuff he did in music. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the movie don't touch on a lot of the stuff. I feel like it was like it's kind of rushed. Not gonna lie, kind of rushed. I think like this motherfucker was the closest thing that there was to like a deity on Earth. You know what I'm saying? When he was on,
yeah.
I feel like the movie don't really like give you a sense of that. Like there's a part where he's like at a toy store, and his kids were coming up to him and asking for his autograph, and I'm like that's not the enormity of it. Like, you know what I mean? That's not everything. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just okay. I feel like the only thing that saves the movie is the performances. The performances are legitimately fantastic in the movie, but like everything else is just kind of like, yeah.
You know, that reminds me. I was like, why is TikTok showing me random Michael Jackson clips all over the weekend? TikTok will know when there's a movie out, but they're not showing me like Michael Jackson clips of him being like the amazing star. They're like showing Michael Jackson clips of like him being a real nigga from time to time, or just being.
The movie don't show him being a nigga. Like it don't show him being a nigga, bro. Like
I feel like that's not how it's crazy because I feel like that's not how people
see him.
Yeah, but like through our lens, right? Like certain things, like we'll pick up on certain mannerisms and things that he says. It's like, nigga Mike is still in there. Yeah, he's definitely there. Like they're showing the clips of.
The thing with nigga Mike is that he appeared more in the 90s. I kept telling my wife like in the 90s is when he really was popping his shit because it was
after the skin thing, right?
Yeah, like that's when he was really like after the Super Bowl, you couldn't tell this nigga nothing. That's when the hate was. I was saying this in our Discord too. Like the hate had already begun before the allegations had kind of like kicked off. So he was already on the hate train already because there was like the narrative was like can he outdo Thriller? And when Bad didn't outdo Thriller, niggas was like he not really who he says he is. And it's like well let me show you niggas some more. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes on a 2-year tour. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff. Like he was doing so much to show people that he was great. That he was one of the greatest, and it's just like the movie don't really show. The movie's really just about him and his dad. They don't really have any other feud with his brothers in there. Nothing. Like it just felt like it was.
It's just cracking on people, just having a good time. Like Michael was a jokester too. Like
you don't see it. You really don't see it.
That's crazy. Like he was a joke. Like there's so many clips that you get to capture like the real Mike, like him, like somebody getting arrested in front of his car and he starts laughing, or fucking that remember it was a big deal back in the day. I think it was on Fox. That movie, that documentary thing with like was it Bashar or
Oh yeah, the when it was just like, yo, this nigga's really removed from reality.
Yeah. And they were trying to pick up on that, but I'm looking at him like you having a good time. I don't know, like nigga rich.
He was so removed from reality at that point. But it was
he's like, walking around the store just buying shit. He's like, I want that one, and yeah, we got that one at home, right?
Yeah. He was really just like they just don't touch on it. Like I think the movie kind of like. The main because here's the thing, like movies searching for a plot,
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
hate movies that like don't have a like because it's searching for a reason to exist. And it's just like there's so many things you could talk about, the feud with the brothers, the feud with the dad, obviously, but like there's so many things that you can like talk about, and they only pick it up at the end with the I don't know if you remember the story, like the victory tour with him and his brothers. It ended up being the last tour they ever went on. The movie
hmm
kind of like dovetails into that and how he was forced to do it, but it's not really how the story was. And I think that this is where you start to get the estate meddling in the actual story, because it was like, oh, Michael wanted to do it because he felt as though his calling was music. It's like, no, he was doing it so he because his mom told him to do it. And so he did it for free. He didn't get paid for
yeah,
this tour at all. And so like it was just so many stories that they that they missed out on, and I just thought they could have did more. And it's not even about like, because I truly don't know how they will reckon, because they're gonna make a
hmm
second one. I don't know how they're gonna reckon with the allegations or how they're gonna be able to work around it. You can't really make a movie for as
yeah,
much as I say you can't make a movie about like him not popping his shit. You can't make a
yeah,
movie about that and like make everyone happy. That's just number one. Not
yeah,
everyone's gonna,
yeah.
and people need to recognize that. But also, you can't make a movie and just not show the formative parts of his career. It skips from 84 Meelz to 88 and it ends. And I'm just like, what?
Part two coming. It's like it's a fucking Demon Slayer.
Yes,
Um,
you can't just skip the formative time of it. He's got a whole completely new face.
yeah,
88.
going from a disease, he's highly scrutinized. People saying that he don't want to be black anymore. That was
Yeah,
you could do that back in the day. It's like I don't want to be black no more, and that's a whole new story or a new like narrative on somene's career back in the day. I don't think it's
whole time he working with Jesse Jackson, black ass. And
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
it's crazy the way they tried to play him, bro. It was crazy, and
The
I'm just tired of not recognizing greatness.
Yeah, I agree. The clip. Speaking of touring, it always comes up on my timeline, and I
You
always
know the
watch it.
tour?
The clip. I go through hell on tours, and he's like, he's like, I go through hell on tours. You don't understand. He's like, Michael, we could just need you to say something more positive about the tour. All right, I'm gonna say it, but you know the truth. And they're like, all right, Michael, on three, two, one. I love to tour. And then everyone just busts out laughing because it's like clearly a lie.
I,
Ah,
I don't think they have the wherewithal to do something that funny. He's barely funny in the movie. Barely.
no,
Yes, bro. He's barely funny in the movie.
that's so crazy. Like you look at things of like, his idol being James Brown and him still doing heavily leaning into R&B, like didn't completely, despite what people say, crossover into pop, still R&B elements. Like he's still,
Hmm.
there's something there, but
They don't want to.
niggas
They didn't want to touch it. They don't want to touch it,
ain't
bro.
want to touch it.
We got a big week of news to talk about. Let's get into that.
Let's get into it. Let's kick off today. Sidebar today. Also, we're gonna speak about NXT news because NXT you got a PLEs for the people who are like YouTube broke niggas. They got a new home. But also just want to, I don't want to spoil NXT for you, but I'm gonna spoil NXT for you because this is like big news and timely.
Mhm.
But it's also what you predicted in the Discord, and that Evil debuts
Yeah, yeah,
on NXT tonight.
yeah. Is he still evil?
I don't believe so. So I didn't actually watch it, but I heard they didn't say his name,
Okay.
which they love doing that. At this point, I think it's a tactic. Like it, I, it just is what it is at this point. But he's on NXT.
I think that it's cool that he managed to convince these motherfuckers. He is like a 15, 20-year veteran, by the way. He has convinced these niggas to allow him to start in development.
I just, I didn't want to travel. I get it.
I get it. I do get it because at the end of the day, it's like he ain't never had no type of American exposure ever. You know what
No,
I'm
not
saying?
at all.
Theo at least had Lucha Underground. You know what I'm saying? She has somewhat of some sort of representation, across the pond, but he has never had it ever. So I
No,
get it.
for sure.
I completely get it. He's trying something new. He's experimenting. He look cool.
He looks the same. But the entrance was cool. The entrance was cool. Yeah, they definitely do it. He's going up top. He's a Neo Italiano. He's got something to worry about. But NXT
into Tony D's to the credit of Tony D, and not only that, but the men's division on NXT. Say what you will about how Evil ended up in that company toward the end. And I mean, I guess the years subsequently after that, he can work, and they definitely need somebody like that can work. So
absolutely. So, there's a bunch of new faces on NXT. It is a hard reset, but we're going to get into that later in the show.
It's a good reset. It's a good reset, though. It's a good reset.
It's a good reset. Yeah. But as announced earlier by Front Office Sports, it was revealed this morning, that NXT will be moving 20 premium live events to the CW. I don't even know if you can really call them premium live events anymore, considering if they're airing on television.
The premium is the premium is the, you know how this works, baby. Premium is the marketing.
Oh, okay.
It don't need to be marketed in as anything such. It's premium in that you're getting matches that you probably normally wouldn't get. So I'll give them that.
So I had the free article, and then it decided it wanted to do a paywall for me. You know what? I'm just going to put it on read only. Oh, and that worked. NXT, the developmental system. According to NXT, WWE NXT has energized our Tuesday nights by consistently delivering a loyal and passionate fan base to the CW every week. The CW's president, Brad Short, says they're going to air it all over. You know what I'm saying? They're airing it. So I'm interested to see. I mean, it's going to, I guess, come out like sports. Maybe it'll just be 3 hours. The only reason I'm like, I don't know if it's PLE, like, it depends how they kind of like break up the matches. Like ultimately, PLE, the focus, the attractions are the matches, but they'll probably just have like commercial breaks through them. You probably see the whole thing on Netflix or internationally if you do watch it.
The idea here, I don't even know if this is mentioned, but much like on the sports stuff that they do on the CW, the events are available on their app immediately after, and I think that's kind of the draw in my eyes there for them, is that they will live on the CW app and they won't have commercials afterwards.
Yeah, so
that's like a good draw for them.
Yeah, for the CW app, I mean, I haven't got it, but I guess I'll get it. But I mean, this is cool. Did you ever have a problem with the YouTube thing? I thought it was actually like kind of cool to be.
Oh, for them to be on YouTube,
for broadcasting on YouTube.
The YouTube thing was weird for sure. I think it's just I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I don't know if I'm ready to reconcile watching an event like that on YouTube. Yeah, call me strange, but I think it's strange to do.
I like it just because the accessibility of YouTube. I realize that I'm so deeply embedded in YouTube. Like, I put on YouTube before I put on anything else, before I put on any streaming app, before I put on any other thing, because there's always original or content that resonates with me on the app as soon as I open it. So I always kind of watch YouTube. I even did an experiment. I don't know if I mentioned this. I definitely did on the A show. They gave me Crunchyroll for free for like a month on YouTube. And that was the most I ever watched Crunchyroll ever in life. Like, because it was available on YouTube. So it's definitely a good portal way, but I think it's good for some things like AAA. I think AAA and, you know, just the accessibility of it, but then also like everyone being able to enjoy it at once, it makes it a great experience. NXT for sure. It'll be interesting. I mean, programming around network television to me is always kind of tricky, which is why I'm like, oh, okay. And considering a largely like new roster, there are instances like, we gotta go home. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't really have
there's no very little preemption that I would say. I'm sure that they still preempt it because there's news that comes on our CW network. I don't know if news comes on your CW.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, 10 o'clock on the dot. They don't give a fuck whether you're in a match or not.
But they could start it early though. Like it could start at 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Start it where it's like it doesn't have to be preempted as much as like a regular broadcast would. I think that like WWE is always trying. And again, like I say this with the full intent of speaking of it from a marketing and a partnership perspective, but new ways to kind of develop and air their shows. A lot
Yeah.
of people like it, a lot of people don't. They're beholden to commercials the same way that everybody else is, and I know this is like a sticking point for a lot of people coming off of Mania, but I think for NXT this like largely works. Like having, I think that it's cool to have a network television wrestling show for kids like me who used to grow up with shows like this when we were little.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching ECW on public access. I remember being able to have access to these shows without having to have the USA Network. And I think that that means a lot because I mean, because NXT is largely a gateway. If you want to continue to know what these things are, people who might not have these apps or these networks or whatever, they eventually, right? They'll eventually buy in some way, shape, or form. So I think that's definitely like a smart way to do it.
Absolutely. So we have that going down. 20 PLEs definitely coming from here. Great relationship between the CW and everything else. So we have that moving forward. Let's get into the big news of this week. We got to talk about it. We got to do the postmortems. We got to do kind
Release
of
Therapy Part
feeling.
3.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Without a doubt. And this is just kind of the state of business. This is just really kind of what it is. I remember it, and I'm speaking about WWE's releases this week. I can clearly say that this happens in multiple forms of business. I know personally, I won't say who, but I'm sure you can guess what. Definitely had one of my first years working at this company, had their major tentpole event of the year, and then literally a week later, multiple people get laid off.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately the way it is and how they kind of move, but you know, we don't wish anyone to really lose their jobs, but in this instance, like I guess everyone at this point they kind of know what it is. WWE just after WrestleMania 42 didn't officially announce, but it was announced by Fightful and other news sources regarding releases or departures from the company, as they might say, because you know we don't. Yeah, a slew of talent from NXT, from the main roster, from people on LFG, kind of all across the WWE roster. Do you want to go into this by literally order of what they have on this website here?
Yeah, but before we do that, I would love to really just talk about in totality like what these releases are this year. Like I just guess like I guess like just in a word like what we think they mean, like what they, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, like these are, just looking at the names when it was all over with, this is like the most to me intentional releases they've ever done in my eyes. Like it is very, to me, clear like they wanted this group of people out because of this. And I guess we'll talk about it as we go along, but I'm just like, most of them are just kind of like, yeah, I get it. This time are just like, oh, I fucking yeah, I see what they're doing here.
I think a lot of these people are kind of like people they brought back at least for just to try out. A lot of these are stalwarts. A lot of people who were really around for a bit. Some of them just came back, like literally just came back. I'm like, oops, never mind. So it's interesting to see what they do, but I think they're definitely moving in a new direction. It is kind of, if I were these talent who just resigned and then was ceremoniously booted, it is kind of frustrating in a sense, but that's just really kind of how it is. Let's start from the top of this in terms of this news article, and probably one of the more notable releases, Kairi Sane. This is someone who returned to WWE in 2023 after departing the first time. She didn't even get released; she just kind of left.
Yeah, she left. Oh.
So returning after that, was featured in the Damage Control storyline, a large part of the Kabuki Warriors from a number of years, seemingly was smack dab in a storyline. That's what makes it the most confusing, is that she's smack dab in storyline that's still occurring right now. Kairi Sane, What can you say about kind of her release? I think it's a
People are
there.
upset about this one.
Yeah, people are. I mean, I guess it's because of the
How
program.
invested in that storyline were people actually though?
I would say,
You were mildly speaking to you. You were mildly invested in it, right?
yeah, I was kind of mildly invested in it. I want to see how it goes, but I was definitely mildly invested in it.
But you could
It's not
kind of
that,
guess how it was gonna go.
yeah. I mean, and ultimately, I guess that's what people wanted to see.
So,
I,
well,
but here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. And it isn't too. I feel two ways about it. I definitely do feel like this is kind of a jarring release just based on the circumstances and her being actively on television every week. But
yeah.
then also, Kyrie Sane just never really got going in WWE in a way. And I don't think it's necessarily her fault, but it just seems like the company never really had a direction for her in a solo capacity ever. There was a time, maybe like 6 months ago, we had this discussion and kind of a back and forth. I was like, how good is actually Kyrie? Like, when's the last great Kyrie Sane match? And in my brain, I'm thinking like, yo, it's kind of like NXT because she hasn't had a great match in a long time. That was like a
and
match.
I believe I defended her.
Yeah, you did. And it's not that she's terrible, but it's just like I don't even have enough of like I don't have enough of matches to really determine. I was like, okay, does she really need to be pushed in this direction, or is she a great worker in this direction? Now, obviously, Kyrie Sane is a great worker, but you wouldn't know if you watch WWE television. You just think she's an awesome tag team competitor and a great character.
But that's no fault of WWE's. Is I think just like the focus wasn't on her, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like she did what she had to do, but the focus was not wholly on Kyrie Sane. No,
no, I mean, but that's the point. It was never on Kyrie Sane ever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we searching for in terms of value from this if they never really presented her with really any kind of value other than being a great tag team competitor?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. I mean, that's the role that you play sometimes, and I think that
Yeah.
people can want more. It's okay to want more from the talent that you see on TV, but like that just wasn't what the story was calling for. You know what I'm saying? The story was calling for we need Kyrie Sane to be to be a bumper for damage control, to be play a part in this thing and play a part in this thing. And I to that point she played it, and I believe that was part of my argument to you a couple months ago was like she played that part well in my eyes. And I think that like that's really what they needed her for, and she played that well. And I think that ultimately, yes, like the story was good, the Kyrie yelling was good, but I think that fans get very like caught up in like one specific thing instead of just being like calling a spade and being like, okay, like the real people that they really want is really just Asuka and Io, right? Like that's all they really want.
I mean, they've got the built-in history. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we don't know kind of where this could have ended up. Maybe it ends up
with Kyrie breaking up away from Asuka.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Ending and kind of like, but ultimately, where does this kind of land for her? Does she land on a solo and then she's eventually a contender for something, or does she kind of like ultimately flounder, really like the rest, considering her placement on the roster?
Mid-card. I see mid-card contender, maybe IC, maybe US, but I think it gets a lot trickier for her. She's on her own. And I think that people back in the day used to be like, it's crazy how they fumble because she's like, she could be a babyface on a level of Bailey. And I'm just like, I don't see it. Like, yeah, I see people mad today and I see, they're connecting today, but I'm just like, on a larger sense, Meelz, I just didn't see that connection on a large sense. I think it's pretty annoying that they did this in the middle of a storyline. I'm not going to cap it.
I agree. Yeah,
that's pretty annoying. But I think that like in totality, they ended up being able to do on Monday what they were going to do anyway, whether she was there or not.
Yeah,
that's ultimately probably the thought that they had, is that we can get there with or without Kyrie.
I mean, yes, ultimately at the end of the day, yeah. I think it would have been more interesting with Kyrie, but ultimately they're going to get to wherever they need to get to. But I do think Kyrie missing from this takes away a bit of context, especially from Asuka's character. But ultimately they're going to do it. We got the Backlash match that was supposed to happen.
She mildly explained it on Monday, and then I'm pretty sure they'll mildly explain it some more. Like when they said what they said on Monday, I said, "Well, there you go. Like, get over it, y'all." But it's over.
Let's see. Moving on from there, we have a group that I was almost sure it was going to be a Rapzilla after that program ended. I was like, oh no, this isn't happening.
I was like, damn, he was right.
The entire Wyatt Six, I feel like I hit the lotto, but this is also very grim and weird to say, to be able to say that. The Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis, Eric Rowan, and Joe Gacy all got a free trip to Vegas, and then presumably just released after that.
To Vegas is just evil. Are you good?
No, I'm not. I never really saw it for this group, to be honest. And while we love Bray Wyatt and what he's contributed, those kind of gimmicks this kind of time never really fit anywhere. I guess that's why it was so easy to release Bray Wyatt the first time and then bring him back. But then you also really had nothing really to do with his character. I don't know how you build a world surrounding this with the current nature of WWE. I don't know where a Trick Williams. Is Trick Williams ever going to face the Wyatt Six in his own world? Probably not.
Oh, NXT he would, but not here.
Yeah, not now. Nigga's a superstar. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it had the road it had. They had the run that they had. They can all move on.
That was another one where it was like the show could really realistically go on without all of them. Like it's a bummer because again, I was a homer for Joe Gacy for quite some time on this show.
Yeah,
thought he was a good hand, thought he was a good kid. But you called it. I mean, there ain't much else to go from where they were at. They were at the highest of highs, right? And then it's just like, yeah, nigga, nah, get them out, get them gone.
Yeah.
I think for this, I think like at some point the tribute act has to end, and I think that if there's no more story to be had there, they had to go. And again, it starts to become like a situation where it's like, okay, you're starting to see a pattern with these releases, right? Where it's just like, Brian, these seem really, really intentional in terms of like what where they're going with these and what they're saying about their current roster and what they want to do.
Time and value wasn't on their side. They had their run. It was over with. I didn't think I think people cheered when they were on screen, but I don't think they really connected to this group at all. They tried. They had they gave them time, moments, setup, money, vignettes,
they had money. They had a Halloween Horror Nights activation. Like they got everything they could out of this thing.
That shit about to be Danhausen's fucking funhouse, nigga.
I will be there for that. I think that would be cool. I would be there for that for sure.
That shit about to be Danhausen's funhouse, man. Yeah, but you know what? Shout out to Nikki Cross, been hired for over a decade. In the roster. Dexter Lumis also been there a long time. I think Bo Dallas was released and then came back. Eric Rowan released, came back. Joe Gacy had also been there for a long time. I think they'll, this is good for their indies. Yeah. You got a couple more bodies.
It's always good for AEW, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of good for AEW, we got the next set of releases. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. This one, I'm not all right.
I had to come to terms with some harsh truths on this one, Meelz.
I'm not gonna hold you. Do not come to terms with that. I do not want you to come to terms with that. I want you to stay 10 toes down and support your mans.
No, I'm straight.
I want you to support your mans. But Aleister Black and Zelina Vega was someone, to be honest with you, I don't use the word fumbled a lot.
No, I'm not riding with that one either.
I do think there was somewhat fumble.
A fumble. The fumble in the way that you're saying it right now is they intentionally or unknowingly did this. A fumble is not any of those things. No one intentionally fumbles the ball. No one unknowingly fumbles the ball. That's just mentally, that's just not the space where it is. I think that the
People
harsh
can unknowingly fumble a ball.
no, Meelz, this is not a fumble. I'm sorry, it's not a fumble.
I feel all right.
It's not a fumble.
What's your case? Say your case, and I'll say my case.
It's not a fumble. You don't intentionally fumble a ball. Like I think that
I say unintentionally. I think it's unintentionally.
I think it's clear to see, and you've even called it out, which is why I think that it's really interesting that you're now kind of doing an about face here. But like you called it the same that you called it with the Y's. You said it's not working. It's not connecting. Even the many things they tried to do with the character, it just wasn't connecting in the way that like we've seen it connect. But you know what else? It didn't connect in AEW either. Like the character just don't connect for some strange reason.
I do think there's a sense of truth in that, but then I also feel like the way he was presented from day one in returning to WWE, kind of, it wasn't that of someone that was going to be a big character, major character, any character. He often played the role of I won't say a prop, but a device to either turn somebody or start turning somebody or something along those lines. And we've seen how those characters kind of ended up in WWE. During his first run, I thought there was a genuine focus on not only just having him, be his character, but making him an incredibly cool character on the show. I'm not gonna say he's like Batman.
He's just not. But that's to your point.
But
to your point, he's just not cool no more. Maybe that's just what it is.
But I also feel like, all right, the way he started was they put him in the Miz. They put him against the Miz, but he was a device for the Miz and Mello thing. And then they finally put him in a feud with Damian Priest, and they do a super long feud, right? Ultimately, I felt like it should have ended up at SummerSlam, and they didn't even put that on. Mind you, this is Damian Priest's hometown. They didn't even put that on SummerSlam. They put it on let me finish. They put it on the night before SummerSlam, and you know who they gave the spot to? The nigga they fired 4 days later. Like, ultimately, like, the priorities of what they did with Aleister Black never presented him in a way that should be received by the audience as this is cool or kind of a major character.
Not perceived in that way at AEW either.
In AEW, I would say it was a better effort there than here.
He got the same. He had the most effort ever put behind him from NXT to main roster.
He had a group
pre and during COVID. In AEW, it was like a step below that. In WWE, it was a step below that. And usually, we always have this conversation. And I don't know why you're doing it about face. Where
I'm not doing it about face.
At some point, you have to question. Is it?
I think you're doing it about face.
I'm not doing it about face. I'm being real.
So here's my thing. I always thought that you assumed that there were bigger things in store for Aleister. And now what you're telling me is that he's not cool at all.
Maybe there's not a bigger. Maybe there's not a bigger.
But I have always said it doesn't look like they're doing things. When they kept him off SummerSlam, I was like, okay, he's probably cooked. The fact that no offense, and I don't want to. Shinsuke Nakamura is still there, and he's not there. I don't want to play that game, but like, he was more featured on active television than that. His other half, though, Zelina Vega, I think they couldn't do one without the other in this aspect without upsetting one. Because Zelina Vega, as great as she is as a New York homer that I am, was unequivocally bad in the last number of months. It is undefendable. The match she had I think it was Julia and somebody else. Just a couple.
Was killed or something in that match?
Oh my God. Like, I think it was indefensible in terms of her performance in that match, to the point where they were like, okay, we're not even going to make you an in-ring person. Like, there's no reason to. She had a great run with LWO. She had a great run with that. But when they decided to pair her with her husband, they became a package deal. I think TKO, Triple H, Nick Khan saw them as a package, talent relations, whoever's involved in this saw them as a package deal, and then they did. So I think you had to do both of them. I'm sure we'll see. I feel like we'll see him in AEW. A bunch of people are whining online, especially from AEW, which I think is tacky, tasteless, whack. Of like, no, we don't want him back. Like, this is not your company. Get a grip. Like, just do your job.
I think it just wasn't. It's just not connected anymore. And I think I call a spade here with him. It's just like it won't hit the same as it was. Had a great match with Randy a couple weeks ago. I thought the Priest stuff was cool. It wasn't like the greatest creative, but it was like, okay, we'll wait and see. But I think that, like to your point, it wasn't connecting. It like barely getting blues. Like he just wasn't connecting with the general sense. But again, we're going to speak about this in a second, but like I think that these are very intentional releases, and I think that they speak to where the company is going. And I think that when you look at what he's doing and what the other people, and not even just Shinsuke Nakamura, what the other people are doing that are still there, it makes more sense why he won't be there and why he's not going to be there. Like, because they're going in a different direction. And I think that that's completely okay
too. Next up, the Motor City Machine Guns. These two were hired, I believe, in 2024. They made their debut, immediately became WWE Tag Team Champions on SmackDown. Haven't really done much since, to be honest with you. It was, again, there was a storyline.
There looked to be something that was about to happen with them and Gargano.
But even that took too long. It's like, bro, what are we waiting for? We don't need 8 weeks of build for this. No one really cares.
And even Gargano got more looks than them in the middle of this storyline. This was the thing that you call. These are two short old niggas that aren't funny, and you never liked them anyway.
Yeah, no, I never saw what was. They look like Fort Minor, so I never saw any. They were great workers. They got a nice little Rumble moment. I believe they had a match, 2 out of 3 Falls match against DIY at the Rumble. So they at least have that. They can at least say they tried WWE, and that's okay. But more than likely we'll see them in AEW, since that was initially who were they seeing.
These niggas at AEW are going to pick up and do absolutely nothing with in the next couple of years.
People got bills, I guess. Ultimately at the end of the day, he's like, I'll pay your bills. Next one up, Alba Fire, Kaylee Ray, been with WWE for quite some time, since pretty much before the pandemic, 2019. She had the longest women's championship reign, maybe in over a decade, maybe 2, maybe 3, as NXT UK champion. Granted, COVID. She moved to stateside, went to NXT proper, got a rebrand as Alba Fire. Eventually got called up to the main roster, won the NXT Tag Team Championships, had won the SmackDown the Women's Tag Team Championships with Isla Dawn, who was also released. She became part of the Loyal Secret Service with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. No idea. I mean, even I guess Piper Niven is still there. But she's a great wrestler who probably, can go back to wrestling. I thought she did a great job with whatever she was dealt, and was a professional. Even to them changing her name, changing her look, changing everything about her, and she was open to it. Did it?
Did what she had to do to have a career and a job. Like, it's I don't look at this as kind of like anything more than what I said before, going in a different direction with wherever they're going. And they just called up so many people, and we're gonna get to the call ups. They just called up so many people. It's like people are like, well, they can't find a room for her. I'm like, yeah, but like, there's a lot of niggas that can wrestle on the roster. Like, she could go anywhere now and be great.
Yeah, which I think that's exactly what she will do. So shout out to her. She's been great. I look forward to seeing whatever she does in the future.
She was there a long time.
She was there a long time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then she could also reunite with the Unholy Union if they decide to do that. I have no idea if Isla Dawn is even contracted to AEW. I know she appears on ROH, but I don't know if she has a formal contract.
Get ready to say that same thing to about the last niggas we was talking about. You could say that to all of them.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I don't think that Alistair going to AEW is a good move.
I only see it as a point of just like where else were you going?
Put him back in that Shark Tank with a bunch of niggas that don't like him and are already talking shit about him, including MJF, and then you put them in a fucking program together or some shit. Like, I just think that there's way too petty in there to even for
I agree.
Something that like as a human that I would even want to do, and I would rather go somewhere where I could be fucking big fish in a small pond and make some fucking bread and do what I got to do. But I think that ultimately, and I'm sorry to go back to Alistair here, I just think that it's like, in my eyes, there needs to be a real character reinvention for him.
I agree
because we're two back and forth, and you're the same character.
And he's the same character, and there hasn't been much development. And I think what he's looking for is the development of this character. He's looking for there to be a payoff for all the spooky, weird shit that he does. And ultimately, no company is going to give him the time to be able to do that.
There's no time for that because you know what? It pigeonholes him, and I think that's why you don't make it on the SummerSlam cards. You don't make it on the, all of these things he got left off of. Is that he's pigeonholed into this character, and there needs to be a reinvention. And so that's why I don't think it makes sense for him to go nowhere until he figures that shit out.
Right.
You can't be a Black man with tattoos. You got to be something else. And if you can't do that, then I think that it limits you. Like, a lot of people changed. Alba Fire changed. And you know what I mean? Like, she's changed character. So I don't know.
Next one up is Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark is someone who has been part of NXT for a long time. When she signed, she was formally kind of like brought up during I think she was a little bit before. She was the end of Black and Gold and then a little bit of 2.0 in NXT before eventually being called up to the main roster in 2000.
Her and Io actually were there for like the same amount of like time. Equally. Yeah.
She eventually gets called up to 2023 as Trish Stratus's heater, kind of, and then joins a Pure Fusion collective with Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville, two people who were also fired. She was injured in a very freak accident, kind of insane. And then as she was cleared from injury, she was released. I think
she implied, like, even in her farewell, that WWE still supporting her recovery. So, not all bad there in terms of just like they are paying for her recovery and stuff. So I think that's cool. Do that for everybody, but
yeah, I think it's cool of him. Zoe Stark, I really didn't see a future from it, to be honest, from the beginning. Couldn't talk, wasn't entertaining, was incredibly athletic. She got a great match at Survivor Series against Rhea Ripley that one time. So she has that.
I always thought that would be the reason why she would survive more than anybody. What?
No.
What?
You said you always thought that you would be the reason why?
No, I thought she was a great worker, and I thought that would be the reason why she would still be there.
Oh, I misheard you. I'm sorry.
No, I thought that would be the reason why she would have a job for a while, is that she was a great worker. Like, she could really work, and I think that even NXT toward the end, you know what I mean, they would put her in matches with the newer, like Kalani and all the people that were new at the time, because she could be the ring general there, and a lot of times she was that. And I just think that, again, you look at some of those promos she cut, man, and the people just being like, what? Like, you could not give her a live mic. It just didn't go well. And I don't know what the future will hold for her, but that's one where I'm like, TNA would be great for her. She would fucking rack up there.
Oh yeah, TNA would be great, but also it would be like, oh, that makes sense with all the other girls who probably can't talk and can wrestle.
Character is what the one thing I see in this shit, Meelz, too, is characters. It's like, it's either stale characters or characters that just won't go nowhere.
Absolutely. Too. Speaking of stale characters and characters not going anywhere, up next.
Return to TV like not too long ago with Matt Cardona. There was the catering boys for a minute.
If one thing he gonna do is be in great shape. That's really That's really all that he's going to do.
Had a run.
He signed to NXT 2015, got called up in 2016 as part of like new fresh blood for the new brand split, the 2016 brand split that everyone thinks of so fondly at this point. Got a little push, decided not again, and then they started pushing him again in 2020, and then they were like, "Nah, let's not do that again." And then they sent him to NXT.
He won the U.S. title and was trading it for a while in 2020.
Yeah, no, he won the U.S. title. Then they sent him to NXT and they gave him his own gimmick, like the weird Neo Luke Cage thing. And he faced Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breakers and all the other stuff like that. And then they're like, I don't want him. Put him on the main roster. So then they put him back on the main roster, and he flounders and flounders. He gets hurt. He comes back, and now we're at where we at.
He was injured for a while. That was why he was gone.
Yeah, I agree. I like Apollo Crews. I mean, he has one defining moment of his career. It's a Nigerian royalty. Other than that, it's been largely underwhelming. If I'm really being honest, it's been largely underwhelming. He is blander than bland. In the ring, out of the ring. And this is someone, shout out to him, we interviewed him once. Yeah.
It was tough.
It's not that it was tough, it's just that, we asked him things like, man, what would be your ultimate cheat meal if you had to cheat on a meal? And he was like, I don't know, man. I eat pretty clean. I was just like, oh man, just make some shit up. Like just make some shit up. Pizza, something, bro. You talking about?
Brother. Damn. Yeah. No, I don't have many words for Apollo Crews. He was like the Nigerian drum match was.
There you go.
He can say that they got that on a show. He can say that he got that on a show. But again, Obafemi's there.
Yeah.
Obafemi's there. No, I don't know. I don't know. Like
Rita and Lord Zed put that thing and said, "Make my Nigerian grown."
Ultimately, like you're seeing the theme. Like, yeah. You're seeing a theme here where someone, as we get lower and lower on this totem pole, you're seeing it.
He was around for a while. Over a decade, almost 15 years in WWE. I'm interested to see what you're gonna do, but not that interested. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it a hundo. I'm just like, he's not that. Yuha Nation was a moment, and I think that's what got him signed. But nothing of what he did kept him there. And I'm surprised he kept it that long. But one thing he's going to do is be in shape. Up next, Santos Escobar.
This one felt like
mean.
This felt like, how dare you put us through this shit?
That's what I would say. That's what I would say.
How dare you put us through this shit and then get hurt?
Well, no. All right. Here's the thing. He was going to leave. His contract last year was running out. He said, all right, I'm dipping. They said, no. We want to re-sign. Like, there was even news of like he's about to debut on AEW, like tonight. But that didn't happen because he got re-signed to WWE like sometime last year.
In the AAA thing.
Yeah. So they bring him back. They gave him a pay raise. They gave him creative promises, allegedly. Since he signed back, he did not appear on WWE television, not even once.
He came back looking like a member of My Chemical Romance, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on in here,
bro? He didn't appear even once. He's in AAA. They kept him for AAA. It was like, maybe we need someone who can speak English actively and Spanish. He gets injured during the match, and really, that's the end of this chapter. It's really, that's it.
We good. I mean, they hit the we good.
Yeah, supposedly, allegedly, according to news, he's maybe signing CMLL imminently. And I'm like, listen, Santos Escobar for La Catalina, I'll take that trade any day of the week.
Yeah, you like it, I love it. The nigga was, come on, man. You see the theme here. We
Yeah.
we got Penta, nigga. We straight.
Yeah, man.
We got Penta, nigga. We straight. You can go.
Up
Penta,
next.
honestly, Penta blowing up the way that he did really sealed the fate of a lot of niggas and the mid
Mhm.
and the upper mid and AAA, all that shit. He sealed the fate for a lot of niggas. I don't think they expected him to be as crazy like popping as he is right now.
Right. I hear you. Up next, NXT 2.0 legend.
Let's start speed rounding this because the show.
Oh,
The show
now we got. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah,
right.
let's do it.
Let's it's in.
Andre Chase.
Never saw
Andre,
it.
never saw it, but ultimately one of the most overacts in NXT history. To be honest with you, Chase, you.
I guess I'll have that.
I guess you will. Jordan's, yes, no, great collection, yay, nay.
No, I'm glad I'll never have to see his fucking his Raptor 4s ever again. He was spamming the Raptor 4s, yo.
Hey man, you got a good shoe. It's got a good grip to it. Up next, the Olympic gold medalist.
So somebody's pops.
Olympic gold medalist Tamyra Mensah-Stock, aka Tyra May Steele. Just never got it going, and to be honest,
nerd.
I don't even want to make it like an age thing, but it's just they going younger. Older? Yeah, she was older. She's like 30 something.
Oh yeah.
So it just is what it is. But she had great ability, but ultimately could not hang. Dante Chen.
Sometimes nightmares do come true.
Dante Chen was there for a while. I guess a stalwart of it. They were like, nah, hang it up, flat screen. High Rise, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek Igwe. I'm surprised y'all lasted past Wesley.
I'm surprised that they didn't go with Wesley. Like that was a shock to me.
But trust me, Wesley wasn't gonna save y'all niggas. He was going back to his group, and that was gonna be that. Y'all ain't gonna become no rascals or big ass rascals or nothing. So we got that. Up next, Luca Cristofino, of course, part of member of the family on NXT.
You were Dante Chen, bro.
No, I didn't. I went through Dante Chen. I said, hang it up flat screen.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Niggas in boots. And then Luca Cristofino.
Luca Cristofino, got a great attitude. Other than that, yeah, I didn't see anything.
Nigga said, I quit wrestling in general. I'm good.
He didn't want to do that shit. Nigga wanted to party. I feel him.
Yeah.
Carly Bright, if you know her, you'll probably have watched many episodes of like Level Up or something of rather. When it was her and Kendall Gray, and they chose one.
Yeah,
essentially,
they chose one. I think looking at these, we're gonna talk about the call-ups.
Yeah. All right. No, let me just finish this. Malik Blade, Chris Island, Sierra Linton, Trill London, and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, clean up on it.
We went in the order of hierarchy from greatest to least. So
absolutely. So with that, I mean, in the same week that we have all these releases, we have a number of call-ups, emphatic call-ups. We talk about Ethan Page to Monday Night Raw, Joe Hendry to Monday Night Raw, Sol Ruka to Monday Night Raw. Ricky Saints announced it's going to be on SmackDown this week. Blake Monroe also announced to be on SmackDown this week. And Fatal Influence made a major debut on SmackDown last week. What do these call-ups symbolize, J5?
I think that in one fell swoop, the main roster got, what would you say, 5 to 10 years younger in one night? In 1 week?
Like if you don't count Ricky Saints or Joe Hendry, yeah.
But I mean, like 5, but I mean, just in general, you look at the women.
Fresher.
Like
it definitely got fresher.
It's fresher. Like it's like it got a little younger, you know, just off the top rope there. And I think that like when you look at what these signings meant, what these releases meant, and where they're going, I'm seeing that they're being a lot more intentional with what they're looking for in terms of like who's developing the fastest and who's developing at a rate that they're actually happy with. I just don't feel as though they were looking at people like Kyrie and Alistair saying these aren't great bodies, but they're saying we got better bodies that we're gonna push a lot more. And we're gonna push, you know, and they're going to be around a lot longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Like they're fresher acts. Alex has been around for a while. Kyrie's been around for a while. A lot of these people are 9, 10, 5, 6, 7, 8 year veterans, and they haven't really made the mark. Same with the NXT and the Level Up and the Evolve people, where they hadn't developed in the 2-3 years that they were there. Immediately, you get Ethan Page, which to me is, we see it on Raw already providing a boost to the mid card, upper mid card in the IC division. Joe Hendry automatically giving you a character. Again, character that you can sell the stuff for, so you don't have to just depend on Danhausen, who is probably the Popeyes chicken sandwich woman outside the restaurant right now with how hard.
Did you hear the spin they try to do it? They're showing too much Danhausen.
Yeah, it's too much now. But if it was any other fucking company, we'd be like, yeah, this shit, yeah. You see how
he might get burnt out.
Yeah, like I'm like, damn, that shit is corny. Like y'all didn't give this nigga nothing to do for years, and the moment he get popping, y'all don't want to fuck with him no more. That's crazy. So Ruka, automatic boost to their division. Ricky Saints, it's crazy how fast he went up. Him and Blake, how fast they went up. Fatal Influence, long overdue. And we'll speak about it on Patreon, just how, my thoughts on how they perform, how they did this call up. But I think these call ups finally do what I think that like they should have always done, Meelz, in that they should always be skewing younger, but they should also be trying to shake up these shows, bro. It doesn't have to always be a fucking draft to do this.
Right.
It shouldn't always have to be a draft to do this.
And you really, I mean, what the last these set of releases do, a lot of the people came from the era 2016 through 2019.
Yep.
A lot of those. And this is incredibly, I mean, beyond just the call-ups we just had then. We just had the 3 major call-ups with Javon, Oba, Trick. But then we also have, like, you have Dominic, you have Liv, you have, Ilya, you have Mello. It's a fresher roster. And one day it'll be the people who are currently on top will, give it up to the people who are currently coming up. But it's just a completely fresher roster. This is giving me a snapshot of a completely new era of WWE.
They're being incredibly, and I keep saying this, intentional about what they're saying, about what they want to do. Like, this is a new generation. People have decried how old these rosters are, how stale they look, and then one fell swoop they've given, and they just flipped the fucking table over, bro. Like they've completely done away with a lot of it and said we're gonna push the young people, and I think that's a good thing, because I can't think of a more ready group of people from NXT to call up. I cannot think of a more ready-made group of people that they could have called up than these people. I think it's a great idea to call these people up. I think that these rosters would be incredibly more bloated, Meelz, if they if they kept people, right? Like, there wouldn't be any room.
I mean, that's kind of how it is. That's what I always kind of envision. Not that I'm envisioning like releases, AEW. Yes, more people lose their job, but you do need this fresh kind of roster change that keep just the show feeling a little bit fresher. It's kind of insane how the stalwarts on top of in the other company remain on top. We just crowned Darby Allin as a new champion. Darby Allin has been there since the first episode of Dynamite, which was 7 years ago.
And then you don't want to have the narrative that they're what is it? Stockpiling talent, right? That's the whole narrative, is that they stockpile talent, they don't let anybody do anything, this, that, and the third. Like, okay, well, they're reing up. This is how it. I know it's how it should be. Like, things should be shaken up. Obviously, it sucks that these people have to lose their jobs for it, but like, it sucks when it happens to your favorite player in basketball. It sucks when it happens to your favorite person in hockey, whatever. Like, the shakeup has to happen. It's like, should these people just be there forever? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think we really have a problem when it's like Roman Reigns, you know what I'm saying, getting let go. That's when we're asking questions. But I think for what it is, it's like, these are the people that are going to carry this show for the foreseeable future, and boom, we got them. Like it's how it should be. Is where everything is where it should be right now.
Absolutely. With that said, we've got a lot of weekly shows to get into this week. Patreon gang, we're officially back. Make sure you head over to patreon.com/thehshow.rnc. Pay the $5, get a full slate of show for free. You pay $20 and you get into the Discord and see what kind of Discord business we got going on right now. I recommend a Discord for new version of NXT. Now we got to live with all these new kids. I think the Rock girl is calling up. They introduced some other new kid today. Like, they're locking in. It is a 2.0 refresh all over again. So we get to watch all these people make their baby steps, and then Tony D'Angelo probably job to one of them.
Tony should probably. I think Tony might be the sneaky one that's probably gone next.
And Tony should be part of this group.
I think he will. I think he will be. I think he's gone next. I think he's out of there next.
I hope so. Braun, do something.
They're giving airtime to Evil, bro. Like, it's flipped.
Yeah. So with that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you follow the H Show at the HORNC, anywhere where you follow on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And we're going to head over to Patreon. So we'll see you guys next week. Take care.